How's everyone doing today? Today is February 7th, 2021. If you don't know, I am Evan. This is our channel dedicated to watch lists. This is mainly for beginners and intermediate traders. If you're a beginner trader, you need help with technical analysis, I'm here to show you everything that I see and walk you through the steps of how I see it. That way it really helps you out. Intermediate traders, if you are used to having big cap stocks and blue chips that you play, this is a great way for you to diversify, which is extremely important to succeed in the stock market. I usually have a more, information-filled intro who I am, but I think most people know who I am. What I want to really talk about right now in the intro is that our Discord chat is live, and I'll show you. Is our Discord. It's called the 9 to 5 Trader. The main reason is there is a bank called Fifth Third Bank, and I don't want to monetize anything that may get them upset, so I'm using a different title for this, but it is me. As we can see our different levels here. So our first one is a $5 per month. If you're just a fan of what I do on YouTube, you can just $5 general support. Just throw $5 away every month to keep doing the YouTube thing. It does really help, and I appreciate it. If you're into the Discord, which a lot of you guys who've been talking about it are, here's what I'm going to offer you. The main thing is this. I will never charge anybody for my services during a pandemic. That's effed up. Anybody who's like, yeah, you gotta make sure you pay me so I can help you, and I can do that. All these things are extras, so do not think I'm gonna leave YouTube anytime soon or anything like that. This is just add-ons that you can do. Now, eventually when the pandemic's over and everyone's kind of getting back to normal, yeah, I may pull back some on YouTube to do extra things or put some of those things into my Discord exclusively. But for now, if you like the YouTube channel, do not worry, it's not going anywhere. These are just extras. So what you're gonna get is you have access to the community. You're gonna be able to watch my show being recorded at 2:20. I'm gonna live stream on YouTube, and it's gonna be a private video that only Discord members are gonna have. So if you wanna have the video almost 5-6 hours early, and you wanna look at the stocks before the market closes, that in itself is probably worth $25 to be honest with you. Every single day I'm gonna have a morning briefing on the day plays and then the week plays we've looked at. We're also gonna have live updates throughout the day. If I find any good entry points, exit points, if a stock takes off or is about to take off, I'll mention it to everybody. All the charts will have technical analysis written on them. I'm gonna show you that today. I'm gonna do all the stocks that way so you guys can all see. I'm also gonna throw in the fundamental analysis, what I see in these stocks that I pick. The entry and exit points will be listed out. And again, any questions you have for me, you can ask me there. But then also on Fridays now, we do a Q&A session. So if you're in the Discord, you can actually ask me questions. I'll make a video for you, record it, and post it. But only the people who actually pay will be able to actually ask me questions. So that's there for you. If you want, there's a $50 option a month where you can actually have a half-hour coffee session with me. And we can discuss trades, strategy, your whole portfolio, all those things. So for a half hour every time, once a month, you get all the Discord stuff, plus you can meet with me, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. No big deal. So here is the Discord, the 9 to 5 Trader. Again, I set it up so if you just join without using Patreon, you're not gonna be able to see anything. So if you come across it randomly, you try to sneak in, it's not gonna work. You have your disclaimer, obviously, for everyone who does this needs one. Then you have your morning updates. All this stuff that says Evan's content will be just me. And you can't type there, but everyone can see it. So every day I'm going to be posting stuff here. Every single day. It's actually in order, so like morning first, then new stocks to watch, ticker updates throughout the day. Then we'll have the watch list spelled out, and then the live show link too. Then you also have the help center, because I want to make sure we split up the stock talk we have and then questions, because that gets so muddled so quickly. So you have your beginner questions over here. So you can ask questions. I was just testing it out with some friends. You can ask your questions over here. You can ask me directly, just at me. Charting questions and Friday Q&A for those who want to participate and ask me questions. And then of course we have all of our discussion rooms. We have your off-topic hangouts, day trading, swing trading, long-term, omni trading, all three of these mixed together. So you want to do a diverse portfolio, folks will talk about that there. Post your own watch list, what you talk about. And then I'm going to set up some tools, setups, and then of course for those who are VIP members, and then the VIP section for those who want to schedule their coffee meeting with me. So it's all right here for you, ready to go. Again, there's no pressure to join. I don't want anyone to be like, well, I have to join so I can. No, you don't have to join. But if you want the full experience and you really want to get inside my head and like have live updates, really like what I'm doing, you want to have that throughout the day consistently, this is for you. You want to have a community If you're in another Discord and there's no direction, this Discord's made for beginners and intermediate traders to have the same strategy, right? We hold for a little bit longer. We don't day trade all the time. We don't really go long all the time, right? We're not going for like months in advance, right? We're going for a few days of holds. Very like-minded people will be here, right? And again, you can then ask me questions instead of posting a question on my channel. On YouTube, you can just post it in there and get a direct response very quickly. So again, it's live, it's ready to go. The description box has the links. You can go down there and click on it. I would really appreciate it. With no further ado though, it is Sunday. And damn it, I got some bangers for you. Let's check them out. So I've actually been messing in OBS. Soon I'm gonna have a rolling ticker at the bottom and it'll have all my Patreon's names in it. So you guys know I'm appreciative and can show that. That'll be really, really cool. And then again, above me, the poop list is the best one. And then this week's calls above it are the okay ones, right? They're just holding lists. Their names don't really mean anything. So let's get into it. So for all those who want to use the Discord chat, this is what I'm talking about with on the slide. So you can have your usual charting on it, right? You can see the actual chartings over here ready to go, supports, resistances, volume profile lines, random lines that I don't erase because I'm stupid, and then the whole entire breakdown. We're going to talk about supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, volume profiles, shapes and sizes, reversal types, the way it goes through, entry price of when you want to get into it, first take profit price, risk versus reward, stop losses if when something breaks, my swing price target for this one move, what I want to get to, the analyst, long-term profit, EMA lines, RSI, Stoch, Vortex. Everything is spelled out for you on the slide. So again, all you need to do is import it, which you can do when I share it. And again, I'll also include fundamental analysis. So again, it's just a step up from what I already do. So this is an example we're going to do in our Discord chat. So with no further ado, let's get into it. First is APXT. We called it before and it did exactly what I wanted to do. I called it right here. I said, hey, there's a good chance it's going to kind of bounce around this area. And it came all the way down and then it came right back out. So some of you might have had a tighter stop loss and would have gotten stopped out. But as I always say, you should always buy back in when it shows life. And you should have seen this run up, first pullback, hopefully would have bought back in and would have at least caught, a 13% move. So you would have lost 4, made back 13, worst case, 9% profit, pretty good. So looking really good. It's right here again. And again, I'm not going to say and again. So it does get lower, but it also does reverse pretty high here. So it comes down to your own risk management policy. Do you want to buy in now and hope for a good 17% move, but then also open yourself up for more risk if it does come back down, because this could just develop into a channel play here and keep going horizontal. It does have higher lows though, so I'm not super keen to think it's going to do that, barring any terrible news. So it should really keep going. It may come down to 1430 and go back up, but this is a really clear ascending triangle, really clear really clear channel at worst. So again, really good looking stock. I like it a lot. Acquisition companies are really big. This one works with Microsoft and a lot of technology. So tech sector's booming. APXT is a great pickup. Let's check the indicators. And they look really good. It's a 200 EMA bounce right there, as you can see. I'll clear the drawing set real quick. You can see it's bouncing right there. Looking really good. Just needs to break the 50. And once it breaks the 50 and the 200, it makes big runs. A lot of stocks do that on this time chart. So if you really want to wait for that, you can. And you could have easily caught a nice 9% 2-day move here. So I think that's a good idea for those who are afraid of risk. RSI is low. It could be lower, but it is low given the historical context of it. It's pretty good here. Stock has never been lower, and you could easily see a divergence happening. You zoom in, you can see here and down. Does not add up with this. So barring any news, this is a great pickup. Vortex is low. When it does cross above, it does usually last about, let's see here, some good 8-day runs. So really good pickup. APXT is a great setup right now. Next is EXAS, Exact Science Corporation. So again, do your own fundamentals, but this is a beautiful channel up. Just looking at this alone, you can see it has 2 different supports, one down here and one in the middle where it consolidates at for bounces. So it looks like this has a good chance of possibly coming down just a little bit, another percent or 2, but it could easily run up 5% the next day or 2. It has never not just blasted through this. You see this, blasted through it, blasted through it. That's what we want. We want to have one day where we can catch this 13% move, blast through it, sell it, then rebuy in this dotted line. That's the move right here. So you could probably set an alert, you know, at 146.25 or so. If it shows some life, go long. If you want to do that, that's great. You could also wait for it to come back down in the channel to buy it. But, you know, how much are you really risking to really save some money? So it's a really good setup. It's beautiful. You know, it's really trying to make these higher lows. It really wants to get above the POC moving on up. It's a great pickup. Let's check the indicators. Looks like it just bounced off the 200 EMA line. That's a good sign. Last time it did that, it got close to it. It showed life and went off. It needs to break the 50, which it just did. So it's holding above that. Once, or as we know, once you break the 200 and the 50, it makes big moves. That's a great sign. RSI is high, Stoch is high, Vortex is consolidating. That makes sense. It's ascending. So RSI is not going to be a good deal as it goes up. And then the stochastic only really happens when it dumps off hard. And that was just down here. So, you know, it's making some good moves here. I wouldn't be surprised if it, you know, pops in the next few days. Great price action setup. I like it a lot. EXAS needs to be on your watch list. Next is HELE, Helen of Troy Corporation. You know, as a history guy, I guess Helen of Troy has a pretty big deal in, you know, that context. So is it a good sign or a bad sign? I don't know. You tell me. Super easy channel read up here. This is a strong support and resistance, and it's really kind of coming into an, you know, like kind of like a plane landing, like, it's trying to feather into it. You have your trend line up here, and it's lived once, and then I guess you can consider this 3 times in 1 time, you know, twice, 3 times, 4 times, but that's kind of cheating, you know. I think it's definitely twice, I guess. So you really want to see it live here for sure. I would definitely give it a day or two to see what's going to do. It does have very quick sell-offs, as you can see, like sell-off, roll down, sell-off, back, sell-off, back. We had this big sell-off, now we're kind of rolling down. The last time this happened, we saw some green, and it took off. So we should see a pretty quick turnaround quickly if it's going to do that pretty soon. My assumption is it may get close to this 223 area or even 226, 27 if it takes long enough to kind of reverse here. Good deal. And this is a higher price stock. The folks who I said, I might focus on some cheaper ones, they were like, don't do it, blah, what the hell? And they all freaked out. So don't worry, I got you too. But this is a great setup. Let's check the indicators. Looks really good. It breaks the 50 to come back, and it does that historically a bunch of times. You know, over here, breaks 50, breaks 50, breaks. It always comes back. This thing is definitely wavy. So it just did that. It may take a day or two, but it's doing that right now. Stoch is super low. Vortex is super low. RSI reverses around here. Doesn't want to get oversold. So a great setup. Do your due diligence, but HELE is a fantastic pickup. So KMB really reminds me of CRK. If you look at CRK real quick, see how it does this back and forth. That's for my class I'm making. It has very similar setup. It even also looks like CGen too. Right, very similar setups. So I'm hoping this is very similar. It just had earnings and it shot off and then it came back down. So it must have been a really big overreaction. And now it's living down here. If you look at the 1-day chart, 1 year, you can see over there a long time it has not gotten this low. This is not really a historically strong support. 134 was, but what's the difference? You know, $2 isn't that big of a deal. So it's looking really good. It just survived earnings. It has plenty of room to run up. We're talking 6-7%, all the way up to maybe 9 or 10 for a full move. It's a good long-term one. If you do your due diligence on Kimberly-Clark Corporation, you should find some good stuff, I think. It doesn't get much lower than this. This is a great ground floor move. If it does take off from here in the next few months, easily could make 16-20% and a good long-term hold. I like it a lot. Really good setup. Let's check the indicators. And it looks good. It needs to break the 200. That's going to be a huge resistance moving forward. And the 50 is going to be the first thing it needs to take over. So I broke the 50 and went kerchoo and made a big move. So that's going to be your real sign to really go long at this point. RSI low, Stoch is kind of high because it's making these moves up right now, and then Vortex is low. So it's a pretty good medium stock. I just think that this support area is such a strong one that your stop loss should be super simple to see. Like right here, if it does break below 129, you sell, then you wait to buy back in. 3% risk for maybe 9% profit, 3-to-1. It's a really good setup. I like it a lot. A full move would be like a 5-to-1 ratio of risk versus reward. It's a really good setup. I like it a lot. KMB needs to be on your watch list. I really like KNDI. I called this before. If you look over here, it's just been, you know, steadily moving up, and it has a history of it kind of like this, you know, slowly melting up to then take off. slowly melting up to take off. So I'm thinking it may be melting up. It may pull back, and that's okay. If it does pull back, we just wait, and we can set like a volume, a volume alert. See how like all these big green ones are from high volume, so we could easily wait for that and just set like a volume alert above like 2.8 million. It takes off, we buy in. But it has no signs of slowing down right now. Easily can make 5, 10, 15, 20, 30% moves. It's really much like JIL, J-I-L-L, we called that before too. It looks like this, right? It just has these spikes that go crazy. You want to get in before the volume. That's what we always try and do. And we try and time these out. You can see like the difference is like 10 days. This was 21 days, and now we are 10 days away. So we should be in the next 11 to like, 15 days, hopefully see a spike on this one. Really strong, KNDI Technology Corporation group, look into it. But they're moving, the POC has a lot of consolidation, so you may see it kind of come down to like 808. If that happens, you buy in lower, wait for it to go back up, buy in again, and make your money back. So looking really good, I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. It's a 200 EMA bounce, right? It's going right off of it, bounces off it consistently. It's also consolidating on the 50, so I'd assume most of the indicators, are right in the middle because it's consolidating. Consolidation means a big move is coming. You want to see that happen. You want to be on the right side of that. So all the indicators look good. EMA lines look good. It's waiting for a big move. We want to catch that. Wait for volume, but KNDI is a great setup. A really nice channel up here for MPWR. You can easily see it just goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So now we're down at the bottom. Now you should really look into the earnings, double check it, just look in Google MPWR ticker earnings and see what happened. It did gap down and then it got filled. So this gap is no longer important to us, but we are at the ground level and we know that this is a strong support area. It may come down to 353 and then take off. But for those of you who like expensive stocks that have really, you pay a premium, you pay more money for a proven stock that also has an easy agree pattern, this could easily run 18%, right? And with a $35 stock, that's going to be close to like, 45, 50 bucks off one big move. So it looks really good. Earnings is coming, or it just came, so make sure you guys look into that. But MPWR is a great setup. Let's check the indicators. So the EMA line seemed to be 200 is very strong. It's near that, so there's a good chance it may get closer to that to bounce, but you don't want to see that happen because then it breaks all your support areas, and then you have to go off that alone, and that's not the greatest setup. But, the 50 is going to be a resistance moving forward. We have to break above that. RSI is low, Stoch low, Vortex is cross green, so they're kind of mixed. I'm assuming it's because this giant drop-off was probably a bit of an oddity given the usual price action, so it kind of threw it off a little bit. But really good setup. Stoch is low. Possible divergence looking good. So MPWR, do your research on their earnings, but it's a great setup nonetheless. Next is Open. It was up here, but I moved it this morning because I really like how it's looking. So what's really cool is Open, the POC was down here, which we talk about, and moved up. So it shows that folks are willing to buy higher and lower, or higher and sell higher. So that's a great sign for where it is. It's right in the POC. It likes to do consolidation there. So right at the bottom, there's a chance it may consolidate sideways for like, a day or two here to hit this channel, but this is a great setup. Turning into a ascending triangle, and this thing has power. I mean, this is not like, oh, it just makes little moves. Like this last move that it made, which we called, was like, 23%. I'm hoping to get another one. Really good channel up, at worst, duplicate this. Let's go sideways. You can see these up here do match. So again, worst case, a nice channel up. Best case, a possible ascending triangle. Connect these, you can see it's possible making a triangle, and those lead to big moves. If it breaks that and goes high, I'm going to love it a lot. Open's a great one. Let's check the indicators. Easy read, 200 EMA play. We talk about this a lot. Right there. It does break it to come back, so if it does break it some, I wouldn't be too freaked out if I were you. So if it does break it, you're just getting the channel. That's great. RSI is fair because it's ascending. That kind of makes sense given like the last price action here. It's in the middle, so that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Stochastic is low, and it's getting close to being a divergence if it gets any lower, but it looks good nonetheless. Vortex also is consolidating. So it looks really good here. Open's a great one. Do your research, but it's a fantastic setup. Last for our great ones is PKI. It's a fantastic channel up here. You need to be careful though because this is also known as a broadening wedge. So this is not going to last forever. This will not be tapped again. So the resistances are kind of going away. There's no way it's going to do another like full 18% move. Now, will it hit 164? Yeah, it's definitely possible. Will it at least hit 156, 151? Yeah, for sure. It definitely has room to do that. So it already confirmed. It bounced off the other day, like on Friday, and then took off on us. So now we're calling it now. If you like to be afraid of risk, wait for the first pullback. And it does have those. See how this one came back? This one came up and had this little red one. So wait for a red day to buy if you're really against it. If you trust it a lot, which I mean, earnings kind of smashed it and it came and gave some life, do some research on that. But it should hopefully do a full nice run of like 5, 6, 7, 8% up in the next few days. Really good looking setup. Great channel up. Possible a wedge that's going to break eventually. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Easy 200 EMA play again. It just bounced off of it. So if it does break down, you can easily see your stop loss will be beneath the 200. Somewhere in 136 range, 137 range. Not risking too much money at all for this one. RSI is fair, but it just was very low, which is good. Stoch is high, Vortex is low. So I think we may see a pullback here and then take off. So give it a day or two, see what it's going to do. But PKI is a great setup. If you are a beginner trader, stop my video. If you're a beginner trader, I suggest go check out the Discord, see what's up there. If you want to just do YouTube, that's totally fine too. Intermediate traders, stick around. I got about 8 or 9 more for you. Let's check them out real quick. If you're new, I do some intermediate trades too that I trust the people who are better to make their own decisions. If you're a beginner, again, stop the video, go home with your 8 great ones, and let's let the intermediate traders look at these. You can stay if you want to, but I would not take on more than 8 stocks to look at one day if I was a beginner. So ADPT, super easy looking channel. It's just in the middle, and this is a area of where it likes to reverse at and break through. So give it a day or two. If it does live here, it just confirmed. So if it does live here, easily can see another 15 or 16%. But this thing does crash on you. You don't have a good stop loss. You could lose 6, 7, 8% really quickly. Indicators look like they're a little overdone, so you gotta see if it has more juice in it. It may pull back. If it does come back down to the 55s, it'll definitely be a great setup. But for now, it's just a good one for an intermediate trader to kind of look at for sure. AMGN we've called. I was like, hey, it looks pretty good here, and it bounced. It's now trying to break the 200 and the 50, and it's not at the best value. It's definitely trending up, as you can see. It's definitely going upwards, so we definitely have room to run 4, 5, 6, maybe 10%, but it's not the best value, and it is at a place of convergence here. So again, if you're an intermediate trader, wait for a good pullback and then buy in, but it's a great setup nonetheless. We discussed AQUA last Thursday. If you want to look at it, you can in that old video. It's looking really good here. It's showing life. You can see it kind of popped up, and now it's really riding this trend line pretty well. If it breaks that 200 and holds and goes long, you definitely want to buy in. Easily going to be a nice 15, 20% move over a good period of time. Really good purchase. It just depends on where you think the best entry point is. And again, I trust intermediate traders to make the decision. It's looking really good for a good move here. AUPH is a big pharma play. They gapped up. We actually called it. I was like, hey guys, AUPH is a good pharma play. And the next day it shot up like 50%. So like that was pretty tight. And now it's retesting. No edits, but I'm taking this off. You can see it's definitely testing this support line. You could even be like, well, I guess this is technically a trend line kind of like over here. But then you're kind of forcing this to be a proven support, which it isn't yet. It's only done this once. But you could always, run and see that this is showing higher lows in some aspect. So AUPH, do your due diligence why it took off and then came back down. But it's only at the 200. Easy play if it lives here. Definitely go long. We called CNC last week. It's just really good area of value here. Last time it had earnings, it shot up almost 30%. Do I foresee that happening again? Probably not. Do I see it collapsing? No. So again, do your research on this as well. But this is definitely a good value, at least making at least 6% on the low side, hopefully closer to 11% on the high side. We called it already, but this is a great setup nonetheless. HLIT is basically HELE, but just not as clear which direction it's going to be going. It broke the 50, which it does. The 200's far away, but here's your trend line. Very similar setup as HELE. I'm just not as confident it's ready to pop yet as that one is. So give it a day or two. Let it get into this channel. It is cheaper, so you can see much bigger moves at 10, 15% pretty quickly here if HLIT does take off. I know. Most folks are like, I don't like NIO. Well, it's a good stock nonetheless. it's definitely coming up. Volume's gotten much lower, which means that there's a good chance that the sellers are kind of just leaving, to be honest with you. This is definitely an area of value. It could be a little bit lower to the 200. We could talk maybe about, it's 4% away where I want it to be. But this is nonetheless a triangle forming. And every time it makes a triangle, what's it do? It blows on past it. So this is a great area of value for NIO. If you really like the big cap stocks and you want to buy into one, this is a good time for this one. NIU should not be mistaken with this. Good college, I bet. NIU, sick. It's once, twice, 3 times. We had to see it live here. If it does live here, easily going to make 5, 10, 15, 20%. But all it has is the 50 and this trend line. There's no real support area yet. And that's about all it has going for it. But if it does live here, it's going to make a really big move. NIU should be on your guys' radar for sure. SDC, we've called multiple times a success. I'm not calling it on my official charting yet, but this is a strong resistance that became a support, hopefully, and at the 200. So it does live here, easily going to make stupid money. You would want to see it come down this trend line. As I always say, when a strong when a strong support or resistance is broken, you must reset trend lines. Think about that real quick. When a strong resistance or support is broken, you must reset trend lines. That's a nice snippet from my class, coming soon. You can see that when this was broken, finally this was broken, we need to now probably reset this. So this is not as relevant. One could, come from here and go up. Let's see what it does though. This is a great setup nonetheless. The last is SPPI. The best value would be closer to 333, but it is at 390. It's showing life. If it breaks at 200, definitely go long. Could easily make a $15% day trade. Higher lows across the board. It's showing some life. You would want to buy it lower, but if it does break the 200, that means it's above the 50 and the 200. That's a great signal to go long. And there you have it. I hope you recognize that I did re-dye my hair a little bit. Strawberry boy, looking handsome. Again, these are watch lists. You should buy these if you have confidence, do your own research. These are great pickups nonetheless. The Discord is live. I encourage anybody who enjoys what I do to come join me if I can actually get enough people, which I think is going to happen. I'm not like tooting my horn, but a lot of folks like what I do. I will quit my day job or my side job. I'll quit my side job next week, honestly, and put my 2 weeks in. And then if this does get above like $7,000, $8,000 a month, which again is not, it's not possible. I'm not gonna be like I need that, but if that happens, I will most definitely consider quitting my day job to do this for you guys. So if that's the case, we'll see. I'm just trying to get it live and get it operational, which it seems to be doing right now. I have some friends in there. It seems to be working pretty well. With nothing else, no further ado, have a good rest of your day. Check out the Discord down below, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another watch list. Appreciate it.